Hi everyone and welcome to this week's pregnancy rambles. I am technically now in single digits because I can say I have 9 weeks and 4 days to go until my actual due date. Whether she comes on that date is another question altogether, but hey, I can now say I'm single digits. We are getting there, people. I'm kind of over pregnancy now. I'm gonna be honest, it's at the point where I'm like, okay, things are getting really hard and it's just a little bit draining and bumps getting bigger. I can't bend down so well anymore, and it's getting to the point where I'm just getting that bit more tired, and I'm chasing around a toddler who's a little bit cranky at the moment. And yeah, so it's just getting to that point. So we are getting there though. Baby's growing beautifully. Every time the midwives measure, she's right on schedule, so I am measuring 30 centimetres. So in case you didn't know this, fascinating fact, in the third trimester, when you go to the midwife, they measure you and they measure your womb, so they measure from the top of it to the bottom of it. Obviously, where else would you measure? Well, I guess you could measure the side, but anyway. And generally it stays with the weeks, so if you're 30 weeks, your womb will generally measure 30 centimetres. And 35, etc. That's kind of average. And yeah, so my little one is measuring perfect, which is really good. It's always nice. She's very active. I think the only thing I get a little bit worried about is I just get quite stressed at the moment. I do have a lot going on, so it's just winding down. And so I just find that a little bit hard because I like being busy, I like being out, and I like having plans every day. So it can get a little bit difficult, and it's just finding ways to self-care. One of the ways I self-care is painting my nails. Here we go. Zoya is a really good pregnancy safe, or I say pregnancy safe, safer for pregnancy brand if you're going to paint your nails in pregnancy. I accidentally had a whoopsie-doo with this one, so I need to repaint it. But yeah, it's a really, really good brand. They don't smell as bad either, so that's always a plus when the smells are good in pregnancy, because I have a very, very sensitive sense of smell in pregnancy. And I've got a tiny bit of a cold disappearing now, but yeah, when I've got a cold, it's like, oh boy, smells are just something else. Cold and pregnancy, you know, the mix of it is just like potent. Yeah, so that's one thing I have been experiencing. What have I been up to this week? What's going on with baby? Well, iron levels are great. The midwife told me to keep on 2 tablets a day because they're just like, no, we're just going to keep your iron levels up. I think they said at 36 weeks they are going to test my bloods again and just make sure the iron's okay. And so that's all going to be sorted. I mean, to be fair, after birth, they told me to go on iron anyway, so I mean, I may as well just carry on with it. Keep the iron levels up, always good, because iron isn't very well absorbed in the body. I do take vitamin C with it as well, so it helps absorb it. What else was I going to say? Pregnancy brain is in full force. I'm getting distracted more and more, I think. When I go out of rooms, I feel like I'm getting more distracted and more like, what was I doing again? Who am I? How much did I sleep last night? I got up at least 3 times in the night for a pee. So that's the joy of what's happening. I was gonna say something then, and I cannot remember. It was about pregnancy and I've completely forgotten. Well, that's a classic pregnancy moment. I am enjoying, like, I'm just seeing my hair, like, I'm not having to wash it every other day. I can literally leave it 3 days and not wash it, and it's still, like, I washed it yesterday, but I have noticed there's one bonus about being pregnant. It's like I do not have to wash my hair as much, so I'm enjoying that perk. Yeah, that's always good. I have noticed I've put on more weight, which is great because it's always like, yay. And yeah, what else? Oh, that's really gonna bug me now. I cannot remember what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I'm doing night school, and this is, if you don't know what that is, the church I'm at do a theological kind of study, is the best way to put it, on Tuesday evenings that I do. And yeah, that's getting quite tiring because it's in the evening. I do find evenings are getting very difficult. And when we go to church on Sundays, we often do 2 services, so we do morning and evening. It's just getting a lot for me, and I'm just getting too tired out. So I actually serve as part of night school, so if you're not used to whatever, church lingo, whatever, basically I help out with signing our kids in and out, making sure that, you know, the right parent takes the right kid, yeah, so we just kind of admin-y stuff with that. So I'm sat down, but I do find it drains me because I am at church longer. I love doing it, but it is really hard because I'm now having to go, well, actually it's not just about me, it's about baby as well. And it's like, okay, the transitioning is happening between what I want to do and actually I need to dedicate this season to baby, because actually like, yeah, that's kind of a weird transition. It's like you still got to look after yourself and you still got to have your own life, but actually it's for me, I really want to transition into, actually baby's gonna need me a lot. And so my brain is like, just for a season I have to focus on that, and obviously Millie as well and myself. And so I feel like I'm getting more selfish, but that is the way it kind of goes, because I'm not being selfish. Looking after my baby is not being selfish, and it's weird because obviously baby hasn't been born yet, and so I find it really weird. And it's like, well, I've not got anything to show for it, if that makes sense. Obviously I've got a massive bump, but it is a weird thing. It's like I struggle with that, like just, okay, I feel like I'm being selfish in not doing stuff, and actually it's not that at all. But yeah, it's one thing I struggled not so much with in Millie's pregnancy, because Millie, I was very, very unwell beforehand. Check out my chronic fatigue / ME video if you haven't watched that and are interested in that. So my health is a lot better like pre-pregnancy, and I'm more active, and like that helps a lot. However, I'm chasing a toddler around this time round. I was like, what am I trying to say there? And yeah, so that does make a difference. And it's like, well, actually I need to give more to Millie, especially because, you know, when baby comes, I'm not going to be able to focus on her as much as I'd love to. I know I'm not, and I need to look after both me, baby, and Millie. So it's going to be it's level up. I was saying to my husband, I was like, it is like getting a job promotion having another kid, because it's like and I don't mean that in a reward sense at all. I just want to make that clear. But I mean it it's a leveling up in the sense of there's more pressure on the job, or there's more, you know, there's more to do. As often promotions go, that's how I mean by that. I don't mean like anything in the reward system, because that's kind of, you know, not. Just want to make that clear. Not what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. There's not like been massive changes. I can show you my bump. So that's been a massive change. Yeah, you can see I'm sitting down. So yeah, this is the massive bump that is. So she's been doing more movements. I wonder if she'll move. She is awake. So no. Anyway, it probably looks big because I'm wearing a stripy top as well. One thing, because seasons are changing, all my tops are just getting so small, and it makes me feel a bit rubbish. All my long sleeve top fits, but then like my t-shirts aren't really fitting. So I've got loads of vests that are big and floaty that would fit fine, but I am struggling with the in-between clothes. So that is one thing. I don't want to buy too much because I'm like, I've only got 10 weeks left, or like 9 and however many, 4 days. But yeah, so it's kind of getting the balance between, actually I need this because it's going to be really, really uncomfortable, if not, or the balance between that, and I don't want to be spending all my money on stuff because seasons change, and like even between Millie and this one, you know, the seasons are different even though they're due the same time of year. That's one thing. So Millie was born in November and this one's born in October, but Millie was born in the UK and this one's going to be born in New Zealand. And so that does affect what you wear in pregnancy, yeah. So, yeah, we will see. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna keep this under 10 minutes. Bye.